years. I never understood why. It used to really bother me. But then one day I was driving my little boy to school, and I saw this quote by Walt Whitman. It was painted on the wall there. It said, "Be curious, not judgmental."
Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight, boys. That's what you've earned here tonight.
Beyond the Bench with Brad Payne and Matt Briggins right here on 102.7 The Game.
Tonight, we skate with them. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team in the world.
It's Beyond the Bench, 102.7 The Game, brought to you by the Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Vic Evans with the two stars of the show, Matt Briggins on one side, Brad Payne on the other. And guys, I mean, first of all, we got to start with right off the top. How about this, maybe the greatest sports weekend in the city of Owensboro history in high school sports, as Catholic and Owensboro both go to the state finals. Catholic drops a tough one to LCA, and Owensboro breaks the 39-year streak and picks up their third football, well, actually five, but the KHSA only counts three of them, their third state title in 5A football. What'd you think about it all?
Amazing, and Catholic was right there.
Yes,
you know, I know injuries are a part of the game. It's a part of everything, but and there's a lot of ifs with them. But fully healthy.
Well, you played that game basically without two ESPN Owensboro first teamers, as Miles Edge played all of about 3 minutes, and then JP Carrico was out the whole time.
Yep.
But I mean,
and what a job. Oh, D-Mark, man.
Yeah. Hey, you were a big D-Mark fan of day one. I think you tried to hire him at Ohio County, lost out to Owensboro. I don't know why that is.
Shocking.
But, yeah, it's kind of shocking. But, I mean, they dominated. I mean, everybody laughed. I caught so much heck on the comments, on the live streams of Live at 5 and different things when I said Owensboro will not only, this was like 9 weeks ago, not only win the state title, they'll beat everybody by 14 points. Gosh. I was wrong. They beat everybody, I think, by 21 or more.
If you look at it, there were some people panicking. And some Owensboro people that panicking. And here's the reality of it is, people need to chill out at every level, high school, college, pro, and quit panicking. It's not the end of the world. And some of these things take time. And
especially in football. Sometimes week one, that was like 3 months ago, really is not that big a deal.
We're not talking about Notre Dame yet, okay?
Well, I mean, so D-Mark wasn't even around.
No,
you know, for a little bit.
Look who they opened up with.
Right.
I mean,
going to tell you right now,
games,
state.
But they prepared them for these other games, and it took him a while to adjust and see what he wanted with his team, and he wasn't here, like you said, in spring practice very much, and so DeMarcus Ganaway can coach. And
yes, he can.
If you don't think he can, then you're delusional.
Yeah, well,
and Owensboro better hope they can just keep him here. And
stay away, Ben Davis.
He did a great job. I'm proud of him. I haven't even got the chance to text him yet, and but I'm so proud of him. And Catholic, man, hats off to you guys. I mean, like you said, you had a couple of injuries there, but just continually to roll it out year after year. It's impressive.
You keep knocking on that door. You're going to kick it open one time or another.
Both Jason and DeMarcus are great coaches, and they got their football programs rolling, and it's exciting to see.
Can I make a prediction for you? I'm gonna make, and I know through some conversations with D-Mark, he was like, "Man, you didn't have to say that on Live at 5." I'm gonna make another prediction.
You're gonna go out on a limb. And say
I'm
gonna be back next year. Right?
No. I'm just gonna say that I think like the run that you had of Bowling Green, in the '90s after they won that first one, where Coach Wallace lost like 4 or 5 straight state titles in a row. Not in a row, but like the first 3 or 4 times they got there. Owensboro's going to go on a run, and Ganaway, the D-Mark, he's going to walk out here with about 3 state titles at Owensboro.
I would love it.
I think he can.
I would love it for him.
He's got the swagger, he's got the knowledge, he's got the attitude just to get it done.
He's a leader of men. I mean, he makes you want to run through a wall.
No, listen. I mean, he's just. I mean, he'll be the first to tell you don't know a ton about basketball. He played basketball in high school, but I hired him on my coaching staff as assistant because I wanted his presence there. Like he is a great coach. a great motivator, and kids want to play for him.
Yep.
And
knows how to communicate, man.
He does. And Owensboro, like you said, they got some talent coming up. They're just going to keep rolling. And it's a very rich tradition of athletics there.
Yep.
Listen, I want to thank the fans and the businesses of Owensboro. One of the businesses that came on board to sponsor our coverage of both games. I mean, it was amazing how many came on board and what they did. And then places like, and then Roads and Roads, Hagen Outdoor Equipment Company that came on.
Your sponsor list was
it was
impressive.
Yes, and then those two had the game sponsorships, and then Ultra Gyms and Rick's Tire and Service, the tailgate sponsors. And I want to thank the fans, because if you weren't in Lexington and you listened to the tailgate show, it was amazing the number of people were at both those tailgates.
Yeah.
It was absolutely great, and I think also too, it gets lost in not anything about D-Mark. What gets lost is what Jason Morris has done at Catholic. And when I talk about this, you've now won 49, I think, of your last 54 games. I mean, that's a pretty good run.
To sustain anything is difficult, but that type of sustaining, like when you talk about sustaining winning, that having a winning record is sustaining winning. But that's not what he's doing. He's sustaining elite level, championship level winning, which is almost impossible to do, and he's done it. And he's going to continue to do it.
Oh, there's no doubt. No doubt.
And look, this city's blessed with. I mean, we've got some nice quarterbacks. When's the last time that we've had
It's never happened.
this many?
I mean, you're talking about, D-Mark Jr., Jermel Carruthers, Max Johnson. Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's three high level kids.
Yeah.
I've got to ask you, any question in your mind that Evan Hampton, who was the Gatorade Player of the Year, should be named Mr. Football?
I don't know enough about it to speak on it.
I hope he gets named Mr. Football, but I don't either.
It's a joke.
If he doesn't,
It's a joke if he doesn't.
But
Oh, I know.
But look,
I know. They gave it 1 year to Jagger Burton, and nothing about against Jagger Burton. He was an offensive lineman, and who got
political.
dominated by a freshman in a playoff game that year.
It's all
I
political.
don't like making excuses, but those
It has
Mr.
been.
Footballs and Mr. Basketballs and stuff are
Josh
just
Carey.
They don't. I don't think they carry the weight they used to because it got so political. When you have a guy that won Mr. Basketball that played 7 games because he had committed to Kentucky, that was. Now I'm not saying if he'd have played the whole year he wasn't the best
Maybe he
basketball
would've,
player,
but he didn't
probably
earn
was.
it that
no,
year.
he played
Who are you
7
talking about?
games. Allen from that went to UK and then went to Western.
Deontay Allen.
Dante
he was
Allen.
terrible.
Yeah, he played 7. Well, not that he was terrible.
Yeah, he
He's a great
should've
high school player. He played 7 games that year. But listen, I think if Evan Hampton, he almost went for 1,000 yards in the playoffs. And in the playoffs, he was averaging 15.9 yards per carry.
Video game numbers.
Unreal. You can't even do that in video games.
No.
But a big shout out to all the fans, all the both teams, the sponsors that came on board, and it was a great weekend. It was a tiring weekend. I was all over the road.
Yeah,
but it was a
lost your
great
voice.
weekend. Oh yeah, I mean, as you can
And you've
tell
been
now.
screaming all day about Notre Dame too. So
Well, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. I gotta
let's
ask you,
get to
and I
that.
can't remember. We'll get to the next. I can't remember. I'm just curious because. Here's what I love on social media, and social media can be it can be the coolest thing.
No, it's terrible. Don't talk it up.
No. I mean, I enjoy parts of it. Okay, but I love this that this
Hate it
year
all.
because 4 private schools win state titles.
Yeah.
And then all these people get on social media talking about there needs to be a public and private, or make all the rules to get that everybody needs to recruit. Literally 4 days after the Montgomery County thing, I didn't know Montgomery County was private. I mean, so they're trying to tell me that public schools don't recruit. I've got to ask, did you happen to watch the coach's show after all the Mace thing? What did you think of that?
I did.
Well, he's trying to prepare himself.
Being called lazy and a hater was eye-opening to me. But listen, he is who he is. I don't have anything to say about him other than
You just
some
don't want
accountability.
You got to learn to work harder and invest in your kids.
yeah, he hasn't invested, to my knowledge, in any kid that can't play basketball.
that was my whole thought.
And so
But I just found it ironic.
The humanitarian part of him, he may, he's got some filters that you have to go through, I guess. But calling other high school coaches lazy and haters and things like that for something that you did is out of pocket.
Two things from this, okay, that I just want to get off my chest here. One, the Cases of Blaze got to figure this thing out. They got to either say you're allowed one-time transfer and you can recruit or not.
Yeah,
because there's the inconsistency is out there. Okay,
100%.
And I'm not blaming the Cases of Blaze. They are undermanned, and they do. Honestly, they're a very great athletic association compared to others out there.
Well,
they
I think you guys have mentioned on this podcast, and I'm not going to cut you off because I want you to finish your thing, that, people think KSSA and they think, all these people and these big, huge, and you're like, it's literally like a little office somewhere. Yeah.
Undermanned. And the second thing is we talk about, so coaching in high school, coaching in college versus high school is totally different. Coaching in college, they have more, their hands are on everything. Like, if they don't get a good recruiting class in, that's on them, okay? High school is a little different. There's really good high school coaches that will never win a district, per se, or win a state title or win this or whatever. And there's really bad coaches that win state titles and win regions after year because there's so many aspects of it. There's what I call talent chasers, and you coaches out there, if you coaches that watch this, you know who you are. I can name you a list of about 10 talent chasers who've been in this region that will leave when it dries up, and they'll go somewhere when there's good talent. And they look like they're a really, really good coach, when the reality of it is they just know where the talent's at. Because in the end of the day, it's about Jimmys and Joes.
Well,
X's and O's makes a difference.
Yep.
It takes a good team to great, average team to good, great to excellent, all this stuff. But it's about Jimmys and Joes. So we look at these high school coaches and we're like, if D-Mark would have went somewhere else, let's say you'd have went somewhere else. Let's say you would have took over Ohio County.
Let's go to, let's look at Ohio County. In fact, I think he coached there.
He did. His record does not indicate what it is at Owensboro because of the talent level there.
Hold on. He did win as many games that one year he was there, you guys won like the last 3 years combined.
But he did. I will say this, though. The talent level then versus now is a little bit different. And it goes in cycles. So these county schools, they go through cycles. They go through cycles on talent. Now, the private schools, they do get to recruit, and they get.
Hold on.
Listen, listen.
Not recruit. They just don't have districts. That's all I'm saying is that there's as many public schools out there recruiting as private. That's all I'm saying.
They don't illegally recruit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they may recruit through the feeder programs of when they're 10 and 11 and get them to come over there, which is fine. I'm okay with it. More power to you.
But Chrome. I'm just throwing that out.
Yeah, but they get talent, and so in high school, there's so many factors that go into play.
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. Something I'm a big fan of. Okay, and we've talked about this on Friday Night Lights Out. We've talked about it on Live at 5. We'll go back to your stopping grounds. Like what Brett Hoddle does at Brett County with that football program is as good as anybody around. But is he going to win a state title there? No. But that doesn't make him a bad football coach.
Correct. Right.
It's just the way it works.
Yeah. We've said it on here 1,000 times. You can't win the Derby with a donkey. And we also, applaud coaches. Sustaining winning, like we've said, that takes some coaching ability. But you can't sustain winning without talent. So you're putting pressure on high school coaches and their livelihood, the ones that, like Coach Briggs and Coach Mays, even to a certain aspect, that teach and coach. And it's their livelihood. It's what pays their mortgage.
We have no buyouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if you did, it's minuscule. Like you don't get, it's a percentage. It's such a small percentage of what you get paid. And yet there's so much pressure to win that these coaches have to sometimes live in the gray area to make this kind of stuff happen.
I have I don't care. Coaches live in the gray area, but here's what I do know. Okay, you're in the gray area and you get fooled once. Shame on them. When you get fooled a second time, you're the dumbass. That's all I know.
It is, and the way that it's all going on too.
I mean, there's been apartment complexes built at certain places for kids to come in and play.
100%.
And I'm not going down that road, but
I was just in a town where the best athletic school in that town they have that.
Yes.
And it's so but
We can be naive and talk about it all. I mean, we could have a whole week or a month full of podcast on being naive and think that it doesn't happen in every sector, in every state in America. But there has got to be some change to it, and it doesn't mean drastic change. You can actually make all of this happen by getting with the times.
Yes.
You just can't live anymore in the 80s and 90s because it doesn't exist.
Take the Indiana rules. All you have to do.
Well, here's the thing about
really is.
college: you got to work your butt off, and you got to recruit, and it's going to show. Okay, in your wins and losses. In high school, you can have a lazy coach that's got a lot of talent that wins basketball games. You can have a coach that works their tail off and be below 500 just because they don't have a recruiting budget and all this stuff. So here's another thing too: these coaches that coach high school that recruit really well in high school, and they go to college, it's not always breed success because here's why. They're on an unequal playing field in high school. They're recruiting, getting these kids. So then they go from that aspect to college, and everybody's on the same playing field. Everybody can recruit. So then it comes down to is, can you still recruit when everybody else is recruiting on the same playing field? And you got enough X and O's knowledge to be able to win those close games. And what you see most of the time, not all, that does not translate to
Just
success.
like college to the NBA, NBA back to, you
But
always see.
But people are so delusional. They look in there and they're like, we got to win now. We got to win now. They're wanting Pope fired. They're wanting all this fired. Pope recruited some kids that he shouldn't have recruited that didn't fit his system because he was listening to you moron UK fans.
He wanted to get
not
more
being
athletic.
Soft.
Yep.
And you ask the SEC how athletic they've been for the past 20 years. It resulted in nothing. You got to be able to play. You got to have intangibles. You got to be able to play the game of basketball. Athleticism does not account for all those wins.
Nope.
Well, you guys now in through week one, Coach Payne,
Not
you guys
in my safe house right now.
Yeah,
Probably will be next week.
you guys take on, New Mexico Prep. I mean, battled right there, had a chance to win that game.
Did.
I think turned a lot of heads. And then you go up and take on the 4th or 5th ranked team, depending on which poll you're looking at, GRC, and win by 14. I mean, you guys have to be happy with the way your first week went.
Good week. And the one thing that I questioned about this team was their ability to set down and defend at a championship level. And, man, we got some big performances defensively because we really haven't shot it that well. Now, it's 2 games in and nobody cares right now, but we're executing pretty well. And we won't face 2 better teams back-to-back on a Friday, Saturday again the rest of the year.
It kind of sets you up if you happen to get to Rupp. Now, I'm not saying you will.
Correct.
Because, Grayson played a prep school really tough, too. Had some good, a good thing there. But
and that's what you do it for. You do it for that and to try to get, Jay and D and Mike and all of our guys for that matter, even Monte and Davin, some exposure to something, no matter what it be, JUCO all the way up to P5s.
Yeah,
but I think Watkins' last 2 games, that man's on his way of getting paid if he continues to do this.
You go out and you put 20 points and 23 rebounds up against GRCs or some D1 teams.
Been waiting on
that
those
will
for
take
a couple
that.
of years.
And you guys got off to a great start. You take it down Breck in the game, and you talked about how good a shooting team this was. And you talked about it in back when we did media day. Had to get better defensively. Do you like where you're at, right? I know it's a long way to go, but. From the start of last year to where this first week went, you like where you're at, Coach Briggs?
Well, we're better defensively than we were last year. Do I like where we're at? It's a big no defensively. We got to get a lot better. Did we shoot the ball well? Yeah, we hit 14 threes, and we're going to live and die by the 3. And
that could be scary come tournament time, can it? Like no matter who you are, where they go out and shoot 14 to 17 threes.
Not last year, but 2 years ago. The Jay Watkins were sophomores. Grayson came to our place.
Yeah, I hit like 20 that night.
And I think they, I'm not joking, I think they went like 14 of 17 or 14 of 18 or whatever it was and just blew us out. Those kind of games can happen. And it could happen just
the reality of it is, could we get hot and beat possibly anybody in the region? Possibly.
Yep.
But could we get beat by anybody in the region? Yes, because you're living and dying by that, and we don't have a true low post game. And
defensive stuff has
and we know that. And we had to switch some defenses in the 4th quarter to keep them off balance. And Breck is physical. If you watch Breck
They've been the most physical team in the last couple of years.
It's like a dunk fest out there. I mean, they're windmilling them, and like we got one guy that can dunk, and we got a few guys that can slap backboard. So we were excited. We didn't have a dunker last year, so we got one in warm up. So
let's get to the other question we were going to talk about, and that is the college football playoff rankings came out today, and they put the old screw job, the path of least resistance to Notre Dame, and the SEC kind of pulling off, and with the ACC so they don't get left out. And
they shouldn't have got left out, Vic. No, Miami should have been in there from day one.
Right, I know, but the head of the committee is Arkansas's AD.
It's the SEC bias.
Right, 100%. No, the two teams that should have been in were Miami and Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame needs to get a conference. Notre Dame, I know you're a Notre Dame fan, but they think they're literally and figuratively holier than thou.
They do not.
Yeah, they do. They do, Vic. They do. And
why would you want to jump?
That's why if you're not a Notre Dame fan, everybody hates them. And it's the truth.
What's that? Us Catholics are used to that. So
I don't hate Catholics.
Here's the thing.
I'm just saying that's what they think.
I'll say this. Here's the thing I'll say is that you go all the way back to 3 weeks ago where Notre Dame was ranked ahead of Alabama. The next week, Notre Dame beat Stanford. Alabama beat Auburn 27-20, who, if you remember correctly, got beat by Kentucky. And the head of the committee went on and said it was a gutsy fourth down call that made the people in the room felt like Alabama should jump Notre Dame.
That's a joke, and you know that. I mean, we know that. It's a joke.
Well, yeah. And then when Alabama gets blown out, like BYU, you tell me, well, BYU's blowout loss in the playoffs meant they had to move down, but Alabama gets blown out by Georgia, and it wasn't even as close as 28-7.
Well, here's what it boils down to, though. It boils down to the selection committee values Georgia more than they do Texas Tech because it's the almighty SEC. Until you get rid of the SEC biased,
there won't
nothing's
be.
There. That's our point. So it's nothing going to change.
Well, what it does tell you.
I showed y'all that
I know.
that thing with Louisville.
Here's what it does tell you. The whole rankings show that they put on the last 5 weeks is nothing but a reality show to get ratings because they mean nothing. Because for 4 weeks, you had not only Notre Dame ahead of Miami and Alabama, you had Notre Dame way ahead of Miami by like 3 to 4 spots, 4 spots at one time. It's all a joke.
This is not, it's not a popular opinion, but because I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth when I say it, because society has made us want to try to include everybody and make sure that we're all equal and this and that when it comes to competing. And we may all be equal as humans, but we're not when we compete. And expand this thing to 32. That sounds absolutely ridiculous because you're like, we don't need another, 7 or 8 21-point spreads. The greatest show on earth every year for 2 weeks, basically the first 2 weeks, is the college basketball NCAA tournament. Everybody, you take that Wednesday and Thursday off, Thursday and Friday off on those first round games. How many times have we seen the number 1 seed favored? You're going to see it this year. Duke's going to be a number 1 seed favored over Alcorn State by 44.5.
And you'll watch it.
And you're going to watch it. You're not going to watch, however, the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Nope. No, in fact, now more and more teams are pulling out of bowl games.
And they should.
And then, let's be honest.
Matter.
If Virginia wins last night and they get the automatic bid, Alabama's out.
Correct. All of this is for naught.
Alabama's out.
Which then goes back to the ACC again, having Duke in the ACC championship. Now,
what's the ACC's fault?
Yes, it's the ACC's fault. But why are we even having conference championships?
Listen, when you have a conference that's gotten so big now and you decided you're going to do away with divisions, which is what they should do, but split them,
play each other.
Split them equally. You go in, literally Duke won the 5th tiebreaker. Alabama won the 4th tiebreaker in the SEC championship game. The problem I have is when people say, hey, you can't punish teams for being in the championship game. You can because, one, this is not truly the 2 best teams. You're working on tiebreakers. Like I said,
Why
4th.
Why is the RPI not the tiebreaker?
The 4th. It should have been the playoff rankings.
Well, we're talking about playoff rankings from the humans or the computer playoff
the computer playoff rankings.
Or overall wins and losses. But I like the computer rankings better. But why do we go to all these stupid tiebreakers?
No, it's the dumbest thing.
But it's ACC's fault. Like, and I'm not saying this. I'm a Louisville fan, but look at Louisville's conference schedule and then when they had their bye weeks. if Louisville would have had Duke's schedule and bye weeks, Louisville would have been in the conference championship game, probably in the playoffs.
Look at Texas A&M. Like, your conference has gotten so big. You could, like, Texas last year, you knew they were going to be in the playoffs because they didn't play any of the
schedule.
Yeah, you. And here's the thing, and I think you said this best. What we saw today is what you see in Washington, D.C., when you go in the back room and say, hey, we got to get this bill passed, but you're going to scratch my back, ACC.
Kind of like.
But you're also going to scratch the SEC's back.
Kind of like when y'all won the talk show of the year.
Right, exactly, 100%.
Saw you out moving around, walking
We saw
around.
that. I knew we were done since I walked in there.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. But it was a screw job. It's all it was. And
We know how it feels.
Here's what I don't understand is if you're gonna give a team a bump, like if you're gonna, and I don't mind, like if Ole Miss would have made it and got beaten, they're like fifth. I don't see them dropping them all the way down. But when you are a bubble team, and Alabama was a bubble team,
You get drilled.
and not just this, but
Dominated.
You're a bubble team, and now you get an extra game because of your tiebreakers. You get another game to play that you're going to get if Alabama were to beat Georgia, they'd have been way up there, and no questions asked. But if you're going to be a bubble team and you're going to get that extra game, you better win.
Or at least keep it close.
To drop BYU, because now what they're saying is, well, they were never – like – I don't believe there wasn't a conversation about Notre Dame and Miami for the last 5 weeks. And you're going to tell me all of a sudden because they were side by side on your rankings, now you're going to talk about it? Like, you put buffers in there, and then you were praying that all this stuff happened. Notre Dame wasn't making it anyway. BYU wins, Notre Dame's out. This was all a screw job.
Yep.
It was an absolute screw job.
It's all broken.
Get in the conference, Notre Dame.
It's broken. I said 16 from the get. 16 is not enough. Make it 32. And if you're the 33rd team, I don't even want to hear you. Like, if you even mention that we got screwed, like, you should
It will be a discussion like this. But I think all the conferences should get automatic bids, even the Sun Belt.
Agree.
On it. Just put them in there.
Put them in there. Like,
Yes.
let's have a 32 team.
Give them something to play for.
Who knew that we had it right when we had BCS? Like, take the humans out of it where guys like
BCS
that.
actually had it right.
Like the guys because Alabama was the one that was out. Like the Arkansas AD who's running the committee, let that all go. I'll tell you what, we're going to be right back. But before we go to break here, I want to tell you about Shelter Santa. You got to make sure. We got Shelter Santa going on out here. You guys have seen
What's
it.
the date? What's the last date?
We'll
to get in?
Listen, we'll just get in. We'll take it.
Figure it out,
We got over 20 kids that still need to be adopted out of about 80 something that are living in the shelters.
Yep.
Come to 1115 Tamarack Road. And Kristen, you can adopt the kid. She has the wish list there. You can call, and I think you did this one year. You don't have to do the shopping. Kristen will do all the shopping for you.
Give her the money.
To make sure that we bring a Christmas miracle to all the kids that are living in shelters here. Help us out with that idea. Shelter Santa, come by and help us out. When we come back, we're going to get the Canty Dairy Queen list, and we'll talk about a little Christmas presents.
Yep.
It's Beyond the Bench, 102.7 The Game. It's Beyond the Bench, 102.7 The Game. Vic Evans, Brad Payne, Matt Briggins here, getting ready for our Canty Dairy Queen list. But before we get to our list, you're going to tell us about your great partner at Hawkins Abney.
Hawkins Abney PLLC is a full-service architectural firm founded in 2022, providing design services for
Join us
academic,
next Monday,
business,
6 p.m.
healthcare.
Hit the wrong one. That's all right. Go ahead. Start it again.
Hawkins Abney PLLC, they'll drop us now. PLLC is a full-service architectural firm founded in 2022, providing design services for academic, business, healthcare, hospitality, industrial, and mercantile projects across the state. Located in Beaver Dam, so give Jeremiah or Kyle a call at 270-363-2235.
I saw where now Trey is that's
Tate.
Or Tate had a nice game for you the other day.
Yeah, he was solid. Had 10 points, about 8 rebounds. Didn't come out the last 45 seconds. Played the whole game.
And probably won't.
He's the only one that
Probably
didn't get in
won't.
foul trouble either.
Yep.
So
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you're a sponsor, right? You get to play. You give
right.
him a little
That's
bit
what
of my
it
bike.
is.
He's playing by the
it's all about winning.
Mike Davis County.
If anybody knows me, like nobody can pay me like amount of money.
Not enough.
I want to win so bad. I can't stand it.
That's what has always gotten me. 27 years of coaching, and there's parents that will that's probably watching this and hoping that I make a mistake, that still believe that I woke up in their child's 4-year history at Davis or Trinity or wherever I was, wake up just to piss them off that morning.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's
You
no
just
doubt
want to
about
play
it.
the guys that can give you the best
That's
chance
it.
to win.
I just want to win.
Well, I've
Period.
always said that my dad used to always tell me if the coach is going to play his favorites, then do what it takes to be one of his favorites, which is like show up early, work hard, stay late. I mean, that's about it. I
My
mean,
favorite guys are the ones that give me a chance to win.
Absolutely. I've always said that too. Be one of those guys.
before we get to the Canty Dairy Queen list, I got to ask you because I meant to last segment. 10 years ago, if I'd have told you IU football was the number one team in the country in the Big Ten champs, what would you have said?
So, talking out both sides of my mouth again, we talk about how, coaches don't mean everything, and they don't. They don't. But this is a coaching. This is a coaching job. This is a coaching job of all coaching jobs. There needs to be a 30 for 30.
But in college, they make more of a difference. But
Absolutely, it's just not the end all be all.
Here's the thing about Kurt Signetti, though, that we got to put in perspective. Okay, I think he's a great coach. I think he's a narcissist, and
But what great
And there may
coaches
be
aren't?
I mean, do you think I'm a narcissist?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think you're a great coach.
There it is.
You think I'm a narcissist?
No.
So I'm a bad coach and a narcissist. That's
There
the
you
worst
go.
combination possible.
You asked me if I thought I said all great coaches are narcissists, and you said, am I a narcissist? No.
That's the worst. That's the worst combination. But anyway,
We got those around here.
going. I forgot my train of thought.
I hang out with 2 of them all the
I'm gonna
time.
have to call my safe house, make sure it's all ready. No, Signetti. Here's the deal about Signetti.
Don't hate on him now.
I like Signetti. I wish Louisville had him, and I love Braun. Braun would be my second choice. Actually, Braun would be my third choice. Gruden would be my second. But anyway, Signetti couldn't have done this 10 years ago. Here's why.
No, NIL.
NIL transfer portal.
Yeah,
he could have never done this.
No, and that's why, and I know you laugh, but that's why I say, like, Louisville, that's why I want the BBN to change their idea of thinking that 7 wins and going to the Pop-Tarts Bowl is not what it needs to be, because if IU can do it, if Vandy
Just
can
means
do it.
less what's on the front of the chest now.
Yes,
it just
it
means
does.
a little bit less now.
But Signetti can coach. But here's my question: do you think Will Stein will recruit any quarterbacks over the height of 5'10"?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Gabriel is kind of small. The more kid he's got now is not.
I'm going to say
not
this,
short.
and I'm going to give him fair warning, because I'm not the hater on this crew here of UK like you are.
I love Kentucky.
Here's what I'm telling all BBN: quit overselling him. They're already
I
overselling
think he's going to struggle.
everything. I
Well,
don't
for
know.
Kentucky, Miss
I have no
Barnhart's got to
idea.
get NIL fixed first. That's
I don't
the
know what
problem.
he's going to do. I have
think
no
he's gonna
idea.
struggle.
And neither does anybody. I have an opinion on what I think will happen with him, but Kentucky is so notorious for whoever they get. He's already turned it. He's already turned it
Well,
around.
I will
These
say-
Kentucky fans are already putting out there playoff bound next year.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I can't.
because there's nothing but
now they want
failure
Pope
that can
fired.
happen.
They're
right.
ready to build a statue of Pope and all become Mormons, and now they want Pope fired.
When I saw a stat or a post of what
Can't stand
his buyout was, Pope meaning Pope.
Yeah.
Talking about Pope, that you've officially lost your mind. Quit talking about what his buyout is. Like, quit talking about firing him.
No, but
I think he may be a little bit over his head.
You're not
right
going to
now.
fire him.
I always
but
thought Pat Kelsey was a better hire.
Here's the thing: you're
And I
not going
agree
to
at this
fire
point.
him. You're not going to fire him. But when you're at Kentucky, you can't be 14-16 in your last Power 5 games without that kind of stuff
Why can't
happening.
you, Vic? Because there's so much parity in college basketball with NIL and transfer portal. These days of UCLA, Kentucky, and Indiana, and even Louisville in the 80s dynasties.
Guess whose records
it's
were
over
the
with.
exact
It's
same
over.
amount in their first how many ever games? If Pope has coached 70 games for Kentucky right now, guess whose records are exactly the same in their first 70 games at Kentucky?
Well, my
You know?
guess would be Coach K.
Him and Cal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and Calipari.
Yeah, I saw
And-
that. Well, at Arkansas and Kentucky, not
No,
at Kentucky.
Kentucky's.
No, I thought.
No.
It's Arkansas.
Well, listen,
and
Arkansas-
Cal didn't.
the
That,
end of
that
the
one
years-
group that he had, his John Wall group, started off well. His second year didn't start very well at all.
No, but they also went to the national championship. Hold on, that team was the one that went to the national championship
John,
game.
they
Walls did.
started terrible.
I'm going to tell you that the best coaching job done in recent times, and you probably won't see it anymore, is what UConn Hurley did. And I know it's really pre-big time portal and NIL, but what Hurley did in that little span there with Connecticut,
Yes.
you're not going to see that anymore.
No, but
you're
there,
not.
hold on, there is a difference. I'm not saying that UK is going to be, go on this run. I don't think there's any school out there that's going to win 7 or 8, 9 national championships, in a 15-year period. But when you're getting blown out by Michigan State and you look like you get as bad, you look as bad as you did in Nashville. I'm not here to say get rid of Pope. I'm here to also tell you that there's something wrong with this team.
I didn't say
have
those
no
type
heart.
of games. Yeah, those type of games are
10
unacceptable.
men.
But so let's say he recruited the wrong kids. That's on him.
Yeah.
Right. But we live in a society now, and we live in the game now to where this is going to happen every year. You've got to get it exactly right. Like Kelsey, I think Kelsey has hit 2 home runs. I think last season he actually recruited really well with the time that he
I
was
think he
given.
coached
injuries.
better last season than he has this season.
I'm telling you.
That's what people don't realize.
Because
though.
that Cincinnati game, I thought he was outcoached there. But Louisville has a lot of talent, but it's about gelling. That so does Kentucky. Kentucky has talent. To say that those players aren't any good now, all of a sudden they're good. They're good players.
Did you see how lazy they were? Did you see Moreno and,
Yes.
and them jog back and not?
Beard said it best the other day. He's not going to deal with the non-coachable stuff. He'll just go find somebody else to play. Pope is over his. I don't mean he's over his head, meaning the job is too big for him. He's overwhelmed with so many things that are going wrong right now, right? We've all been there. In
players
coaching.
on the team breaking bro code.
Correct. There's so
that
many.
happens about every year.
There's so many small things that are going on right now, and then the level of play on the court. Because look, if all those things were going on and they were winning, nobody would be even talking about it.
Before we're gonna get, I promise you, we'll get to the game. Got to ask you. Does the IU St. John's games, do those kind of become must-win games, or could this thing really
Or
spiral
what?
out of control? Well, I mean, when you
And I'm not being hateful when
I'll
I say
no,
that. Or what?
I'm talking about not for Pope. I'm talking about for UK and their NCAA
Mass
championships.
riots in Lexington, burning couches. I mean, that's how crazy Kentucky fans are.
I'm talking about when you get to the selection Sunday.
No,
and-
I agree with you.
because if you don't have anything,
No.
when you don't have a win on
the
your
SEC
resume,
schedule's going to be enough to get them in if they lose these games.
hold on, the
they're gonna-
SEC's way down this year.
Not that far down.
They're gonna if they lose some of these games, they'll bounce them. They won't be in the tournament.
That's what I was thinking.
You know who Kentucky should have hired though, and going back, why didn't they just give Patino one last chance for 5 years and let him ride out in the sunset? And I'm a Patino fan.
I'm a Patino fan too, but once
he won't recruit a shooter.
Once you flipped off
weird,
Rupp
isn't it?
Arena, you lost me. I mean, I still can't get by him flipping off Rupp Arena.
Nah.
I can't.
I'm going to do it at Breck this year.
After they foul out all 5 of your guys.
Again.
Listen,
They tried to. The Eagles over there.
trust me. They were in the bonus with 7 minutes
they were in
and
the
30 seconds left.
They were in the
fourth
bonus
quarter.
before a tip. Hey, Jimmy Bull said it best, and bless his heart. He said the toughest 2 places to play are Rupp Arena and Breck County on a Friday night.
There you go. There you go.
And Jimmy made sure of one of them.
Yeah, he did.
I played 4 of some of those calls.
Let's get to our Canty Dairy Queen list. It's not any Dairy Queen. It's Canty Dairy Queen. You can find it New Hartford Road, are right there by Ohio County High School.
Number one school in the state test score, region
That's
test
right.
scores.
Not only that, I heard it. I heard with the NIL deal, you get all the Canty Dairy Queen food that you
We
want
don't
if you
do
play
NIL.
basketball
We
there.
don't
That's
do
what
NIL.
I heard.
They've got our Watkins hired, and
He actually has to work though. He said, unlike Kentucky guys in UK healthcare, he has
sure
to
unlike
show
his
up.
starting five over there, I'm sure they're all employed by Canty Dairy Queen too.
Well, since it's Christmas season, and we're talking about Shelter Santa and all this. We're going to talk about. I want you guys to give me, let's say, at least a couple each.
Yeah.
All right. Growing up, whether it be growing up or as an adult, just whatever.
Yes.
In your lifetime, the two or three presents that one set out as being the best presents you ever got. Maybe the one that's just mentally, that's what you remember and kind of make that what Christmas about.
Yep.
And also your worst presents.
Yeah. So I have three, and one is my worst, and I'll start off with my worst because I want to end it great. And this was so bad of a present that it was comical how bad it was. And I'll try not to make it such a long story because it's probably not going to be that funny to you all, but it was hilarious at the time. So I'm in high school. I'm a senior in high school, and at the time, my girlfriend was the what do you call the leader of a band? Not the orchestrated, the person that stands up there and does the hand signals.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, but you know who I'm
I know what
talking
you're talking about, 100%.
So Brett County had
Conductor.
Yes. And
So you dated a conductor?
yep. And she
The family must
quit.
have been rich.
Quit. So this thing could go sideways in a hurry. And they come on, I gotta get dialed in here. And she no, all right, here we go. The bands, they're what they do, they're
Conducting.
no, the whole band as a team.
Marching?
What they did as a unit has a theme.
Right.
The
You tell
Lion
we
King.
know a lot about band.
Right, y'all are you're wearing me out. I'm sure the audience is loving this. The theme was the Lion King. All right,
Okay.
and they were really successful. I think they may have even gotten into the state finals that year. My grandmother, God rest her soul, maybe the nicest woman I've ever been around to this day. Cared for me in some periods of time when I was young that I needed it, and she tried. She was one of those that you've all got family members, especially your grandparents or maybe even parents, that want their presents to mean something. Like
Right.
they don't just give you a gift card; they don't just
Right.
give you a pair of socks or something. Every one of her gifts that I ever got from her, really she thought out and
Right.
really meant something. So I'm in high school, and you can't get to high school or anything. Even back when we were, in high school, it's either get some shoes, get some Nike shoes, or put money in a card and call it a day. Nanny, my grandmother, was not going to do that. My present from her was a Lion King calendar.
You never even looked at calendar in your life. You can't even spell calendar.
I didn't give a damn what day it was.
That is great.
A Lion King calendar.
There
Did you
you
ever go
go.
to band camp?
No. But I did go to some cold ass weekends and
Sit up.
Watch there, watch
Here's
it.
what I've learned.
don't say it.
No.
they're not.
No. Here's what I've learned. In
Got to
our
see the back.
in our
the
fantasy
back of the conductor.
No, in our fantasy. There you go. In our fantasy football, our Live at 5 fantasy
was
football, we have Selena that's with Heavy Pour Sports, and her daughter is with the Grant County band. And they go to Grant
Yep.
County. They go, and I think they finished like third in the state. It's a really good marching band. But what I've learned is when you go to those weekends where it's a band weekend, you're there for
Have you seen
15 hours.
Even at Davis, it is a caravan.
Yes.
There's trailers and trailers and trailers of stuff that you have to take with
they
you,
put-
props
they put
and stuff
the time
like
in, a lot of
they do.
work in.
They practice harder than
I agree.
any team that we have. They're out there before us, and they stay
Give
after.
them a lot of props.
Well, no,
They-
like I said,
and those conductors
they'll
too.
get there at 7 in the morning. They'll be there till 8 or 9 at
I don't know if
night.
it's called a conductor.
It's not.
It's not. I don't know what it's called. I know the orchestra is a conductor,
A field something.
No.
field general.
No,
I don't know.
field general.
Let's
What's
get
yours?
Let's get to yours.
Shut up.
Do
I'll
you
do
have
mine
a-
about my
I'll
conductor.
do my worst one, and I got two ones I like. So my wife is atrocious at getting gifts. They're terrible.
Coming from you, that Mr. Birthday, but go ahead.
Yeah, the best gift she got me was a sauna last year.
I think the best gift she got you was her.
Yeah, probably so.
I would say so.
I got
You were her worst gift.
Yeah, I probably was. So I have I'll just lay it all out here on the air. My heels on my feet are really dry and
Gross.
They are. Wow. It's terrible. I'm being honest.
Sorry,
with you.
people.
I've got one of those.
It's
I know what you're going to say.
It's just so bad. So my wife gets me for Christmas one year foot cream and these stupid socks that you're supposed to put on your
Overnight
foot. But the ones she got me were like disposable. I can only use them once. I'm like, first of all, if you see my feet, these ain't going to work.
They get stuck on you before you can even
she
get
was
them on
really
there.
excited about it. It's like, you're going to love these socks, these foot socks.
That's like buying
They're
a
like plastic with lotion.
female,
in it.
like a vacuum in a sense. For,
I was going to buy a
like,
vacuum for
I was
a
going to
price.
say easy.
That's what
easy. I mean, he
But
was already.
I wouldn't have enjoyed that one.
We were going to do this show a lot earlier today, and it was all about people running these tournaments. I mean, the first comment that come out of him was,
Nah.
and it probably was.
"Give me one of your,
right.
give me
Don't
one."
get me mad. He'll
I'll
get
be
me
honest
mad.
with you. I was trying to think of this. I can't think of a gift that I got that ever was just like, this is a terrible gift. I really
Would
can't.
you like foot cream and foot
No,
tub?
I would not like
I was
that.
gonna say, he probably
I mean,
re-gifted.
I've given some bad gifts. One time for Christmas, or for his birthday, my brother, there were some really cool. Like remember when the White Sox changed their colors and went with the new logo and the colors.
Yes.
When they went with the black and stuff.
Guys, we got a text in. Field commander or drum major?
Drum major.
major.
There you
That's
go.
it.
All right, there
It's
you go.
drum major.
Orchestra as a conductor. So I bought these because I
I
thought
told
they
y'all
were
something.
cool.
Field something. I knew it.
And I gave them to him for
You
his
didn't know.
birthday
You
because I
dated.
knew he wouldn't like them, and so I got to wear them. That was bad. Give me one of your good ones.
So maybe the greatest one, but my number one, I can still remember it so vividly, so I have to rank it number one. My number two was getting the toy Optimus Prime.
Whoa.
I can remember wanting it so badly at Walmart, and Mom was like, "Nah, you can't have it. We can't afford it. It's too much. This and that." And never even expected it. Never expected it. But I can remember I can only remember about 5 or 6 gifts that I've ever been given in my life, and getting Optimus Prime was huge.
Who'd have thought he was an Optimus Prime guy? Unbelievable. How about you?
So I grew up a big Batman fan.
Yep.
And so after when the Batman movies came out, all the Batcave,
Yep.
and the Batman figurines, like the action figures,
Yep.
you couldn't only get them. And so my parents got me the Batcave and got me like Batman, Robin,
huge.
Penguin, Riddler, Joker, and had them all sitting out there. And I thought
That's
it was
huge.
the coolest thing ever. I was probably like
G.I.
7 years
Joes
old.
were up there too.
I
Oh,
got
they
G.I.
were-
Joes every Christmas.
Yes.
And so that one was one of my biggest ones.
Yeah.
For me, it was getting the full blown bore of Millennium Falcon. When you had all the Star Wars pieces that came out.
I'm not a Star Wars guy.
I know, but
I
the
hate
Millennium,
Star
when you had the full, had the
In
cockpit
fact,
that
until
opened
you
up.
said it, I didn't know what it was.
The Millennium Falcon?
No, I never even heard of it.
Oh man, that was Han Solo's ship.
That's what I'm saying.
Have you ever
I've heard
got
of Han
Have
Solo.
you watched them all?
No, I've never watched one.
We're gonna have a Star Wars
No.
watch
You haven't
party.
even
We're gonna
watched
start
Game
at
of
1.
Thrones?
You didn't watch Game of Thrones?
No, and I haven't watched where was Spock.
Star Wars.
Star
No,
Trek.
Star Trek.
Haven't watched that crap either.
Spook. There you go. Let's get to your number one.
There was. So do y'all remember back in the day the home stereo systems?
Yeah.
That you stacked on top of it.
Yeah.
You stacked
yeah.
the cassette with the CD with the regular radio, and then you had the big old tall speakers. We weren't rich growing up at all, and it was just one of those things to where I would go over to a friend's house and they would have it, and I'm like, I can't imagine having that in my room. And we got it. Santa brought it when I was like 12 years old. And like, I took so great care of it. Like, I can remember like spraying it with Pledge and wiping it down and making
Polishing
sure it was
it.
shiny and stuff. Listening to, I would turn the radio up so loud. That to me, and on top of it, you could turn to, this is why we're all probably crazy with the radio waves. You could turn to a certain channel on AM, and you remember all the wireless,
Mike's
phone receivers that we
CDs.
had.
Yeah.
You could pick up any any cordless phone call that mom or dad was having upstairs with anybody. So we would invite a bunch of friends over and have them call, a girl or something like that, and they would know, and we would record it on cassette, and we'd have them blackmailed forever.
Solid.
Which is why I got to start at Bragg. I had Patrick Critchlow blackmailed all of his life.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
That's how you got passes. How about
Right.
How about your number one?
My favorite two I'm not going to talk about, but I got Super Nintendo and PlayStation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, those were
Yeah.
awesome. But the gift I want to talk about is I was about 5 years old. And so I was the kid that tried to find all my gifts.
Oh,
And I would
you're one
find
of those.
them, or I would shake them, and I could tell.
Yes.
So I was at my grandparents' house, and I was looking through their closets. I knew there were some gifts hidden, and I found a Boomer Esiason Bengals football uniform, the little kids' uniforms. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. And they used to be in those catalogs. What was those?
Oh, yeah.
Thick ones.
And I saw that, and I'm
Sears.
like, I could not wait
Dan Marino.
until
too.
I got that, and I thought about it every night. Like I
Oh,
wanted
I
to
can
put that
imagine.
uniform on, the helmet, because I love Boomer. And so when I got that, I acted surprised, like I didn't know, and then I
Yes.
put it on, and I'm like ready to go play football outside.
I was almost a
remember that
Dolphins
gift.
fan because of those
Those-
uniforms.
Yes.
And having the
Those
Marino
are so
one.
cool growing up.
That teal color always
Yeah.
that I liked, and I was almost a
And it's not
Dolphins
a great
fan.
gift. I mean,
Oh,
but it was fun, and
Those are
I was
awesome.
like 5 years old, and I can still remember it.
Yes.
I got two real quick. Number one, I don't know if you guys remember, and we call it the Monday Night Football game, but the football game where you put the guys up and it vibrates.
Oh,
and they move.
absolutely.
When we got that,
That
and
was
my
fun.
and my parents had the pieces painted in Dallas Cowboy and Pittsburgh Steeler unis. And
That's
so
great.
That
I had
was
one of them.
That was one of my favorites.
Think about that game.
Oh, I know. And my ultimate favorite gift that I ever got, and it's going to go back to kind of what you had, when I got my first Atari. Like that was in the pole position and pitfall when Santa brought my Atari.
Unreal.
I thought I knew right then and there life would not get any better.
And I think we've talked about Atari before, and you all kind of poo-pooed on this. You all not remember playing Cubert?
Yes, yeah.
Atari is before me. I had a Nintendo.
Cubert was so good.
Asteroids,
Yeah.
Space Invaders,
Pitfall was great.
Pitfall. I mean, I still hate those things. Tell you what, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll wrap this thing up. It's Beyond the Bench, 1027, The Game. It's Beyond the Bench, 1027 The Game, brought to you by the Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Vic Evans with the 2 stars. Brad Payne, Matt Briggins, as we're here getting close to the end of the show. I had a couple longer segments, and that's fine. But, listen, for 1027, football really kind of dominated the end with the big, long runs. And now we go full bore into basketball.
Yep.
You guys got a big district game coming up. Do you like playing district games this early?
Nope. I do when they were in the state championship. I invite any of those when Catholic and OHS are in the state championship finals. I love that. No, to be perfect honest, no. I think there should be a gentleman's agreement.
At least after January
to do it after Christmas break. I don't know. They matter so much that it really should be. But I guess you could say it's fair for both teams. But it's really not if you take somebody like Catholic. Jermail's got to. He's got to get into basketball shape, no matter what anybody says.
But he's back when I went to senior high. That was the thing: get senior high early before all the football guys got. Guys like Peanut White.
Coach Riley.
He didn't have any games for the last year.
He said it. He said it. He was like, "I'm not playing that first week."
Yeah.
Maybe the second week. We got Edmondson Tuesday, and then boy girl district, and then we play. Spire International on Saturday at St. X.
Okay.
KHSAA.
And I think Owensboro, not only that, I think Owensboro is one of those teams that I said all along, I said this on Live at 5, that there's the biggest gap between their ceiling and their floor.
Who's that?
Owensboro.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know. You just don't know. I mean.
We've only seen them once on film. And they're a wild card. And, of course, they're going to bring in some football players, too. So we have no idea who's even going to play on Friday.
Well, don't they in basketball, do they have to have so many practices coming off of football, or can they come in right away? But,
it may be a Rod Drake rule, but it's certainly not a KHSAA.
You guys got a big one this week, taking on Grayson County, who's one of the favorites of the region, and it's a good chance for you to see where you stack up against the top of the region.
Yeah, we got Grayson Tuesday. I'd probably rather have them a couple weeks from now, but I'm excited to go down there and play them, and it's going to be
down there.
Down there, it's going to be a tough place to play, and it's they're good. Travis Johnson does a great job, and it's going to be a tough game. Then we got Franklin Simpson at home, who just beat Bowling Green. And so
he does a nice job.
He does
I really
a good
like
job.
him.
He's been there for a long time, and I watched some film on them. They're pretty athletic.
Yep.
So it's going to be a test for us. And then we got Owensboro on Saturday, right after they play Davis in our Beaver Dam Tourism Classic. So, we got some tough games coming up, and then we got a district game next week against the following week against McLean County.
Here we go.
As coaches, you guys
jumping on the trampoline.
We're getting close to that Christmas time where you play a lot of these tournaments, and so you're playing 3 or 4 games in a 5-day spread. It's not a lot of practice. Do you like that?
Hate it.
The only thing that you can give a positive on, if you're looking for silver lining on it, is if you want to set yourself up body and mentally for a regional or a state tournament run, and it's more akin to a state tournament run than it is a regional, because at least you get a day or two off in a regional. You get no days off here. It becomes a little AAU-ish, but it's a test, and you just kind of hope that there's some adversity that hits you. Not huge. You don't want any huge adversity, but a little bit. So maybe you can learn something, because other than that, you really don't learn anything about yourselves that you can fix immediately.
Right.
No, because we got not this week, but the following week, we got McLean on Tuesday, Apollo on Thursday, Rock Creek on Friday, and then we got another game Saturday. So we got 4 games
NBA schedule
in 5 days.
And if anything's going wrong at that point,
you can't fix it.
You're out of luck.
Please tell me the 10th district changed the tiebreaker rule on y'all's head-to-head.
Second game.
That's still the dumbest thing in the world. Yeah. That's dumber than the College Football Playoff Committee.
I think it should be RPI, but the problem is the RPI is so
broke too.
So broke, so you can't really go, because you can play in Indiana school. It's
if there's
broke.
one thing
I will
that
say this.
KHSAA's got to fix before they start taking on the whole transfer thing, is fix the RPI, man. And that shouldn't be that difficult, really, to be honest with you.
It's broke really bad.
Yeah.
I will say this in football. I know the RPI catches a lot of heck, but the lowest ranked team that made it to the state finals in football was number 4. And in most of the classes, it was either 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 3.
In basketball, it's really simple when it comes to out of state. Just take them off. if you're
instead of having like a 27 point data point, have it 23 data point.
right. Like if you're not going to go deep enough to count in who they really are as a team, then just take them off, and I'd be completely fine with that. But don't punish a team.
Yes.
Or even in some cases, and I hope we don't have too many, and don't take it the wrong way, don't give somebody credit for playing Cannleton.
Right.
Because you get the same amount of points
for Cannleton as y'all did New Mexico Prep.
Yes.
Yeah, Albuquerque
Well,
Prep.
they don't get anything from New Mexico Prep. It's not on the
so maybe a slap in the face.
I will say, before we get out of here, because
Is
we're getting
it a
ready to get going, here's my question.
I hope not.
Is it time, with Boyle winning their 5th out of 6, Cal winning their 4th straight state title in football, is it time for the KHSA to move to an Indiana system where you put in a point system, and every 2 years, if you accumulate enough points, you get bumped up a class?
100%.
I think so, too.
Nah. Why penalize them for winning?
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't hurt if it's the same team winning every year. Doesn't it get old?
Well, the other teams are coming down on
Sacred Heart
purpose.
girls have won like 12 in a row.
Join us
Like,
next
true.
Monday, 6
We'll see you next
p.m.
week.
Beyond
That's
the
true.
Bench. Your home for Third Region Sports is 102.7 The Game.
Barbecue sauce.